Shit, dog. Welcome everybody to my channel. If you've never watched before, thank you for clicking on this video. And let's just get right into it. I'm gonna watch some One Piece because you know I love my anime. If in case nobody knew, which nobody does know, because I never told anybody that. I love my anime, but I've had a lot of people, a lot of homies and shit that watch this show called One Piece, and this is a beginner guide to One Piece by Grand Line Review. And I'm gonna see what he's talking about because I'm about to hop in this shit. I ain't never seen it, but where's my bandana at? I know my boy Zoro is going crazy because I done seen Zoro on all kinds of fighting shit, and he ain't as nice as me. He's not. He couldn't compete with this. He don't want it. Zoro, I know the gum fruit, the rubber fruit. I know like shit like that. Like I know what devil fruits are.
Hello and welcome.
I got
to
a
the
devil fruit, matter of fact.
video source for everything One Piece.
And what the hell just happened? It started playing on me. Alright, well that means I'm talking way too much. So I'm gonna get into this One Piece video and I'm gonna see what it's talking about. I got my V8, my beverage, and let's get it poppin'.
My name is Liam, and if you give me 10 minutes, then I will change your life. Because if you're watching this video, it probably means that you have
Giving
a
you my
rather
10
annoying
minutes, Liam.
friend, family member, romantic partner, or perhaps
A lot
all
of
three,
friends
no judgment,
tell me to do
who
watch
has
this
been
fucking
pestering you
bullshit.
to read or watch this
Not
thing
calling you
that
bullshit.
is called One Piece. Or maybe you're just a generally curious individual. I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't matter, because you have stumbled upon the ultimate video for your particular situation. Because this is the beginner's guide to One Piece, and in a few short minutes you're going to know if
guide
this
me
is the right
beginningly
series for you and how to
right
begin
now.
reading or watching if it is. Because for a series that has been running continuously for almost a quarter of a century, yes, it can be confusing, intimidating, and generally off-putting to jump into the deep end on your own. But you're not on your own, because you've got me, and you've also got, like, the reindeer. The reindeer sitting on a toaster. So let's consider this something of a Santa Claus arrangement, with me bringing you the wonderful gift of One Piece. So let's begin with the general premise. Everything about One Piece essentially boils down to a treasure hunt. At the beginning of the series, the pirate king Goldie Roger is executed, but not before stating that he had hidden his treasure somewhere in the world. This declaration sparks a golden age of piracy that eventually sees our protagonist Monkey D. Luffy set out to find this treasure and become the next pirate king. And this treasure is known as the titular One Piece, and it's one of the greatest ongoing mysteries in all of media as we know it. Because while it may initially sound like a big old pile of gold, this story takes a stunning amount of twists and turns, revealing a world, characters, and secrets that we never could have imagined. It really doesn't seem like it at first, but One Piece has everything that most humans look for in an installment of media. Action, adventure, drama, political intrigue, mystery, suspense, comedy, and this uncanny ability to every now and then just completely blow your mind in a way that nothing else could. And I do think that I'm being quite reserved
I like
that
the art,
because I honestly don't think I've ever met someone who started One Piece and then regretted that decision. It has so much to offer everyone, especially you and others face are the various roadblocks to actually starting the series in the first place. The first of which is undoubtedly the rather intimidating length of One Piece. At the time of writing this video, there are over 1,000 manga chapters, and we are rapidly approaching 1,000 anime episodes as well. And quite frankly, yes, that is a disgusting amount. It's a big time commitment no matter which way you choose to consume the series, because you could take in like 40 other small series during that time. But the way I would describe One Piece is like the difference between walking to the corner shop versus deciding to take a grand journey across the globe. One of them is much more appealing and achievable at the time, and one of them will give you an unparalleled experience and a far greater reward at the end. The thing about length is that yes,
but there is no end. It never ends. And we like that shit, because you got more content to watch. So, don't complain, don't kill, don't tell.
Seem like a lot at first, but once you blast through those 1,000 chapters, you all of a sudden come to the realization that, oh, that's not quite enough, is it? In fact, it's nowhere near enough. There's a very good reason why One Piece has been
1,000 isn't enough
for 24 years, which has made it the second
I'm on it, boys. Let's
highest-selling
watch this
comic
shit.
book in world history.
Is it?
The only title still...
One thing he didn't tell me, is it better to read the One Piece, or is it better to watch the One Piece? Y'all let me know, please.
remaining higher is that pesky Superman, and look...
Because maybe I'm going to get a little reading session in, or a little watching session in. What just happened to me?
We're coming for you, Superman, because we want that #1 spot. There's nothing you can do about it. And it's
Number
also
one,
because
almost
One
number
Piece
one
has a really
selling
bizarre and
comic.
rare
That's
ability
insane.
to appeal to every age demographic. You might think that, like other shonen series, it is intended for a teenage crowd, but according to an internationally conducted demographic poll, less than 25% of fans are in that teenage bracket.
20
and
to
more than
70%?
70% are aged between 20 and 40.
Or I
So
mean,
One
20 to
Piece holds a
29
lot
years
more
old.
appeal amongst adults than your typical shonen series does. Don't let this goofy art fool you. This series has quite a bit of substance to it. And speaking of, the art is, look, it's a very common roadblock and one which I fully understand. When I first stumbled across One Piece, it took me literally months before I actually gave the series a chance.
I don't know why
and
I'm
it's
dancing.
because I
Don't
took
look
one
at
look
me.
at this crazy rubber mofo and I went, nope, this isn't it, not for me. But I pretty immediately regretted that mindset when I did actually
The art just
concede
makes
and
me
give the
spiral. I
series
can't
a
stop
go.
smiling
I think the
in my
term
head or
acquired
anything.
taste
I like the
definitely
art for
applies
sure.
with the art of One Piece. I mean, some people gel with it instantly, whilst others need time to get accustomed to the style. It's not overly sleek and sexy like your standard anime or manga series, but as time goes on,
Respect
you
it.
realize that this is a very key advantage for One Piece, because it allows the author, Eiichiro Oda, to fully explore his imagination, creating characters and landscapes that no other artist would dare to bring into existence out of fear that it would look too ridiculous. And there is no greater example of how well this is utilized than with the main power system of the series, which is devil fruits. Within this world exists a series of seemingly magical fruits, and if you eat one of these foul-tasting foods, then you will be granted a random superpower. For example, our protagonist Monkey D.
Ooh.
Luffy ate the Gomu Gomu no Mi, which
Gomu
turned
Gomu no
his
Mi.
body into rubber. Others consumed fruits that gave
Yeah,
them the
I know
ability
that
to turn
one.
into animals ranging from dogs to dinosaurs, even mythical creatures. Meanwhile, some gain the ability to transform into natural elements like sand, ice, and lightning. It really is the luck of the draw with devil fruits, and literally anything is possible. We even have one man who can become mochi, which is a Japanese rice cake. And you wouldn't think that a rice cake could be so deadly or so
Really?
phenomenally
That's
cool,
mochi is
but it
rice cakes?
All of which is to say that the wackier the idea or the design, the harder it is likely to hit you in One Piece. There are times when you'll be introduced to, say, a cross-dressing ballerina or a man in a baby outfit, and
The
you'll sit
hell
there and
is he
go,
wearing,
well, what
boy?
the absolute crap is this? But mere chapters later, you'll be crying your eyes out at just how hard-hitting
Will I,
the
though?
stories are. That is
Nothing
the
gets me to
bizarre
cry. I don't-
juxtaposition of One Piece that you
Y'all prove me wrong, One Piece. Maybe I'll start reading and watch this right after this, possibly. Because I'm getting hyped up here. I ain't never cried at a single anime, manga, anything, nothing. Never. I've read Berserk, alright?
won't find anywhere else. There are other roadblocks, though, a major one being that you may or may not be so keen on the whole theme of the series, which is pirates.
I love
Look,
pirates.
I get it. Pirates aren't exactly the
Pirates of the
in
Caribbean's
thing
my
right
shit.
now. And
Jack
being
Sparrow?
a 31-year-old man, I
That's
also
me.
need to confess that I have no idea what is the in thing now.
Liam.
Very out of
Liam,
the
31.
But arguably, pirates never have
You're my
been
goat.
the thing during the entire lifespan of One Piece. I guess Pirates of the Caribbean kind of made them cool for a few years, maybe, but only if they look like Johnny Depp. But the key thing about One Piece here is that these are not pirates as you know them. When we think of pirates in the West, we generally cast our minds back to the filthy yar me hearties kind of guys, who actually historically never existed. Pirates never said garbage like shiver me timbers and all of that stuff was popularized by assorted fiction. In any
Yeah, I
case,
don't know
One
why
Piece
anybody
casually
would say that
redefines
for any
piracy
reason.
as we know it.
Besides
In
our
this series,
dumbasses
yes,
in
you will
America.
find some of your classical pirates, but you'll also discover sky pirates, fish pirates, cyborg pirates, polar bear pirates, zombie pirates, female pirates, and all sorts of weird and wacky things that seem to take every existing genre of human media and just smush it all together in this
Zoro's
piracy-based
cold. He looks
package.
cold as
So if you
hell.
expected the typical Western pirates, then prepare to be pleasantly surprised. That or incredibly disappointed. One or the other, I guess. But even then, the pirates are not everything, and they really
Where does
only
eye
make
go?
up
Why
about
does
a
he have
third
two
of the
eyes right there
characters in
and
the
he don't have
series.
an eye
There are
right here?
several other key factions, such as the world government, which explores soldiers, sailors, assassins, even secret 007-style agents, and of course, the most important thing of all for a booming fictional economy, businessmen. For example, here's a guy. His name is Big News Morgans, and he is the most successful entrepreneur in the history of the One Piece world. How did a big bird become head of a mega
Respect it.
corporation? Well,
That
you'll
bird's
just
got
have to
game, that's
find
why.
out. But how do we find out, you ask? Well, unlike Western comics, One Piece does have a fairly easily identifiable entry point. If you want to read it, then you start with Chapter 1. And if you want to watch it, then you start with Episode 1. Seems simple, yes? But both
Yes.
have their pros and cons. The manga, for example, is much quicker to get through. It has
Well, I guess this answers my question of should I read it or should I watch it. I'll make my decision off this.
no filler, and the artwork is very consistent. However, it doesn't have any of the fun, atmospheric stuff like voice acting and music. Meanwhile, with the anime, it does give you that immersive experience. However, given that it first started airing in 1999, the early days are a bit dated in terms of art and animation, and closer to modern times there's a fair chunk of filler to sift through, meaning that in general it does take longer than reading, but it all depends on what kind of experience you're after. Times longer is better, and in fact that's the entire mantra of One Piece. However, because I know that's not going to be a satisfactory answer to a lot of you who are still concerned about the whole length thing, I am now going to give you the grand line review, quick and dirty guide to One Piece.
It's the length.
And this, I want to emphasize, is for
not the
only
girth.
the filthiest of One Piece fans. This is for people
Not a
who are
good time
super
to
pressed
say
for
girth, I
time
guess.
or just genuinely impatient.
The dirty
This
guide.
is designed to give you a condensed experience of about 400 chapters or roughly 350 episodes, all crammed into an 8-hour package. So first you watch a TV special called Episode of East Blue. This condenses the first 100 chapters of the series into a 2-hour experience. It gives you all of the basics regarding our core protagonists, their dreams, and the basic gist of the world. After that we move on to One Piece Movie 9, Episode of Chopper Plus. This is an abridged retelling of the Drum Island arc, and it tells you everything you need to know about this here reindeer. The reindeer is both important and adorable, and this is actually one of the better One Piece films, although it does exist in a weird sort of the alternate universe where some things and characters are different, but look, for your purposes, it doesn't matter. After this, we watch One Piece Movie 8, and yes, that's right, we went from 9 back to 8, because that's just how we roll, but this is the episode of Alabasta, another abridged retelling of the first major scale event in One Piece, where Luffy and his crew are thrown into conflict with the Warlord of the Sea, with the lives of an entire country at stake. Very action-packed and very fun. Next on the list is Episode of Sky Island, a TV special which goes over all of the major beats of the Skypiea saga, where the Straw Hats sail up into the clouds to explore some very heavenly territory and fight against an almost literal god. And then finally, we land back down onto the Blue Sea with Episode of Merry. This TV special retells the Water 7 saga, which is commonly cited by many fans as one of the best story arcs that One Piece has to offer, which sees the Straw Hat crew fractured and needing to declare war on the world government to save the life of their beloved crewmate. So all in all, those 5 films and TV specials add up to just over 8 hours, and I honestly don't think it's the most ideal way to experience One Piece, because you do zoom through events and emotions pretty rapidly, but it's still a great way to sample the world and the characters and to know if you do indeed want more, all in a very time-efficient manner. And if you do want more, then whether you're continuing with the anime or the manga, you'll want to start with the Thriller Bark saga, which picks up immediately where Episode of Merry left off, and I believe that starts at chapter 442 or episode 337, respectively. But even with that gigantic leap forward, there's still a lot left to experience. In fact, you won't even be halfway through the series at that stage. But believe me, that's a very good thing. But what if you've got no time for any of this nonsense? What if you just want to jump straight into One Piece somehow, without even needing to put those 8 hours in? Well, to be honest,
hop straight into One Piece somehow.
You are quite demanding. However, I'm going to help you anyway, because I am going to attempt...
But is it all necessary to do all that? Do you need to watch it from or read it from the very first episode or chapter? Or can you just skip past most of it within 8 hours? And 1,000 chapters, and you're only getting past to like the first 300 episodes or 400 chapters or whatever. Are you getting all the information and intel you need on this story?
The entirety of One Piece for
you let me know
in a single minute. Alright, this may be, I think, legitimately impossible, but let's give it a go. Monkey D. Luffy embarks on a quest to become the Pirate King. Along the way, he gathers a large crew, each with dreams of their own to accomplish. Throughout their journey, they encounter fantastical islands, mythical creatures, and an abundance of enemies. Some of which are the 7 Warlords of the Sea, others of which are the 4 Emperors of the New World, and many of them are the world government itself, all of whom get punched in the face. During this journey, Luffy's crew stumbles upon a historical conspiracy involving the former Pirate King and ancient figures long past. This world is hiding a secret that is beyond massive. At a certain point, the Straw Hats are defeated and must engage in a 2-year time skip to gain the skills necessary to survive in the new world. After the crew reforms, Luffy's notoriety then increases to the point where he is a globally recognized threat, now sailing within the new world, commanding a whole new generation of pirates, his own grand fleet, and he is now currently engaged in battle with one of the ultimatest of pirates known as the strongest creature in the world, Kaido. So now we need to punch him in the face in order
Oh,
to continue.
shit.
And that's One Piece in 1 minute.
That was a
But I do
sick-ass
hope that
panel.
I've either convinced you or at least helped you made the decision to start, or I guess not to start One Piece. And as for any current fans, please do share this video with those who you want to get into the series. This channel is all about making One Piece as easy and as accessible to get into, so I look forward to all of you joining us on this continuing journey. Of course, to continue the journey right now, this video will do quite nicely. It goes over the history of everything that has happened in the One Piece world prior to the start of the series.
And I don't want to know what's gonna happen because I already made my decision before I even started watching this video. Because everything that I've heard from people, it's a good story. It's got something for everybody. Does it have something for everybody though? It's got. They told me it's got whatchamacallit. It's got comedic assets. It's got all the fights. It's got the Dragon Ball fights in it, which I looked like a Dragon Ball ass fight versus when he was out there with that fist against that dragon. And that's really what I'm looking. I like the funniness of anime or the goofiness, and I like of course everybody loves fights, or else I wouldn't be watching anime. The fights do it for me. And story. So from what I've told is this has the best story. It's got some good fights. And it's just got every asset that you want in anime, really. That's what everybody's telling me. And from what I saw from Mr. Liam, we might have to get it popping. So shout out to the Grand Line Review. You know who. And he's got his little pirate thing going on here. That's sick. But anyway, besides the point. Should I embark, as he says, on this journey? Or should I leave it in the past? Let me know. Peace out, y'all.